let's keep going, thinking about God's discipline. I don't know if this is a fun subject for you, but I think it's an important one. And remember, we're seeking to think about it in terms that don't divorce it from his rescuing love, but see it in light of his rescuing love. Verse 18 of Psalm 118. Let me read verse 17 from our previous thought for the day. I shall not die, but I shall live and recount the deeds of the Lord. Here's verse 18. The Lord has disciplined me severely, but he's not given me over to death. Hear what I want you to think about. He's disciplined me severely. God's discipline is made effective in your life by you sort of realizing what he's doing and by looking inside you, right? Yes, he's the word for discipline severely here, it's one term. In Leviticus, it means correction for sin. It can mean like to warn or to instruct. In Psalm 94, that's the case, 94 verse 12. In Proverbs 19:18 and 29:17, it's used of a parent to a child. But let me give you a key metaphor that this word is used in, and this will kind of come full circle. Jeremiah 31:18. I have heard Ephraim grieving. You have disciplined me, and I was disciplined. Like an untrained calf, bring me back, that I may be restored. For you are the Lord my God. In other words, the text is pointing out you are doing something. Like an untrained calf, you were disciplining me. How do you train a calf? Right? There's a little research. I'm not a calf trainer, but here's some facets. Number one, you got to show it who's boss. You have to show it who's boss. The Lord needs to show us and remind us who's boss sometimes. Two, you're not dragging it, but you're tugging it, right? Tugging on it with a rope. So it learns that relief comes from when it comes toward you, right? And the halter untightens. So in that sense, there's a relief by drawing close. There's a relief by drawing close. You reward it. Third, you reward it sometimes with feed. Fourth, you deal firmly if it is stubborn and flops on the ground. And fifth, you're responsible to not let it choke itself by how you handle the rope. So God works with us that way. He doesn't pull too hard, but he tugs. As we move towards him, we find relief and release. We find his rescuing love. We experience it. He feeds us. He rewards us. He strengthens us. But if we're stubborn, he'll flip us over, right? It takes introspection to see the bigger picture that, wait a minute, God is actually doing something inside me. And as I draw close to him, I see and sense that he is moving and shaping my life and drawing me to himself, and that his love is coming along, right? He's not an abusive father. I have to see God's proper motive in permitting and causing hardship in my life, and I have to remain teachable and trainable in those moments. Introspection, self-reflection is of the utmost importance. Concluding verse, listen to Hebrews 12:11. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. Key phrase at the end, to those who have been trained by it. If you're not teachable, you won't be trained by it. The Lord's disciplined me severely, but he's not given me over to death. The psalmist can make that statement because he realizes God's at work in the difficulty, and he's willing to be trained by the difficulty, not just kick against it in anger. May God help us to do that and be introspective in the midst of difficulty. Take care.